Alright guys, this is a 2009 Kia Sportage and I'm getting the code for B1346 for driver airbag resistance too high, and the most possible thing that can be is the Clockspring. I bought mine off eBay, original equipment manufacturer, has the Kia and Hyundai emblems right there, which are hard to focus, but you got it. I recommend original equipment manufacturer parts because on electronics like sensors, airbags, especially like engine sensors and that kind of stuff. The first thing is to disconnect the battery terminal. Which I've disconnected right there. Yeah. Living in a rural area, so pack rats, they're kind of the problem. I'm gonna try that steering wheel puller. Should work. So yeah, the first thing is to remove that bolt right there, and on the other side, another bolt with it. I highly recommend using Torx sockets. I removed it with an Allen one, but it was really tricky. I was very close to stripping it. Once that is removed, you're gonna be able to disconnect these two plugs, which were these ones, green with green, and this blue one with the pink one. I don't know why they didn't color match it. Might work, might be blue on other vehicles, but for this one, it's that one. To disconnect it, this thing it's gonna be set flat, so you're gonna have to pull it back like that. It's like a safety lock, and once you pull it, you press these two tabs and wiggle it until it comes off. Once that is off, it had this nut and this washer in there. I used the pick to take it off, or a magnet, whatever you can use. To take it off, I used an impact. It's right there. Highly recommend one of those impacts. They come really handy. That was a 22mm socket to remove that nut. It didn't require a lot of force, but it was way easier than holding the steering wheel and trying to remove it with two person, like one holding the steering wheel really tight while another works the ratchet, might be able to remove it. Once I took a look here, you can just unplug this one if you want. No, this one you have to take it off, the one on the right, because it's part of the wiring of the harness for the cruise control buttons on the steering wheel. And we're gonna take the steering wheel off, and the one on the left, you can leave it there and wiggle these wires through that hole while you take the steering wheel, or take it off before it. It's up to you. Should have a lock, some way of taking it off. So with one hand I'm struggling. So next step would be to put the two bolts there with the steering wheel puller, and the middle bolt sitting right here. It's gonna push here and pull the steering wheel out at the same time. What I'm gonna do here before I do that is mark my steering wheel position on the shaft, and the closer to one of those teeth right there, the better, because if not, my alignment's gonna be off and it's the original alignment. So I mean, my steering wheel's gonna be crooked if I don't align it before I take it off and after installing it. So I have everything right there set up. As you can see, I've made my markings closest to one tooth right there on the spline. These 2 bolts with the washer, and one it goes in, it's gonna bottom in like 6 threads in. It's not that long of a hole for the bolts to go. And now all I have to do is start turning this one. I'm gonna try with the ratchet first. If it doesn't work, then I'm gonna hit it with the impact. Hopefully it doesn't strip those barely catching 6 threads on the bolts. Okay guys, just like I thought, it barely catch any threads, so when I was trying to take it off, it stripped. So I had to go buy a 17/64 drill bit and an 8mm by 1.5 I believe, or 125 thread. 1.25 thread. Tap, 1.25 tap, to drill the holes all the way and tap them. Now I'm gonna have more catch and they're not gonna strip. I sprayed the threads with PV Blaster, but it still is not coming out. So I'm gonna tap them all the way, drill and tap them. They're already drilled both sides. And I'm just gonna tap them and use the puller again. And I think I have some nuts, so I'll be able to catch them from the rear. Like put the nut right there, just to prevent from stripping all the way, just in case it still doesn't want to go. I'm gonna spray it again with some PV Blaster. After the steering wheel is off, it's really easy. Like I said, this one can be taken off, but it's a pain, so just leave it on and get it across the steering wheel hole. All you have to do is take off this 4 Phillips screws, that one, and it comes off. Sorry about the kids. And here is the old one. It's really easy. All I have to do is align these ones as the old one is, with that plastic part over there, and you should be good. Put everything back together as we removed it, and it's a piece of cake. Okay, critical step when putting it together. See those nipples right there? They're supposed to be aligned with these holes on the steering wheel. I drew that line so I was able to align it. So what I did is, first I aligned the spline holes, and then align once the spline holes are aligned, the steering wheel with the spline, I twist it, align the nipple with that line right there, and then push it in. And it clicks into place, everything's aligned, put everything back together. Simple as that.